It's 25 after 5. You're watching the Friday edition of Today. If you've just joined us, warm welcome to you. A former policeman who shot and killed a Tembisa hospital nurse before turning the gun on himself will not serve any jail time. Wheelchair-bound Lucky Mudau pleaded guilty to fatally shooting his partner Lebohang Munene at her workplace in February last year. That's 2022. Now, Mudau was sentenced to 25 years imprisonment, wholly suspended for 5 years, on condition he is not convicted of committing a similar offence by the division. Joining us via Zoom is Bongani Mazibuko from the Democratic Nursing Organization. The organization had been calling for justice for Munene's death. Bongani, thank you so much for making time for us this evening. Firstly, let me get your reaction.
Good evening, and thank you for having me. As Denosa should say that we are quite shocked at the sentence that was given to Lucky, considering the magnitude of the crime that he committed. He killed a nurse on duty on the premises of a hospital. We would have expected that there should have been at least a harsher sentence. There should have been some form of effective jail time that would have been given. And yes, as much as we do understand the position of the correctional service saying that they can't house him, but it shouldn't just end there. To us, this shows that there's actually a gap in the justice system in having to deal with cases of this sort.
When you say that, then I have to ask you this, Bongani. Considering the fact that he is in a wheelchair, what would your organization hope would be the best punishment, quote unquote?
Well, he should also not be having a chance to see his family, at least for a while, because right now, Lebo Munene is gone, dead and buried. Her kids will never be able to see her. Now they have to grow up without a mother. He would have, the correctional services would have had to at least say that they can customize one of the units in one of the institutions so that they can be able to house him. We've seen this with Rivers Steenkamp and the Oscar Pistorius, whereby he was given a light sentence, so to say, and he was then incarcerated in a hospital unit of a particular institution. So the same could be done for this in this case as well. It's not. I think to me, to us as an organization, this just shows that there is a certain level of unwillingness. We do know that they might feel pity for him, but it should also be taken into consideration that the wounds and the state that he's in was self-inflicted. It was him trying to run away from having to pay for the crime that he committed.
And the word karma jumps to mind, Bongani. I mean, him being in a wheelchair, one would imagine that, and this is going to be for the rest of his life, he's already paying for his sins, if you will.
Well, that is between him and God. But what about the family? Because to us, we feel that we've had too many cases of assault and people, particularly nurses, being attacked in the workplace. And we really feel that this sends a very wrong message to say that if you attack or you do something like this, then you can easily inflict a wound upon yourself, and you can get away with it, But it's totally unfair and unreasonable to say that, because the way we feel it and our view is that the justice system, and in this case, the consideration was mostly on the perpetrator more than on the victim's family and how the society at large is affected at this. And we know that, yes, he might, because of his condition, he is not going to commit a crime in the next 5 years. So it means that after 5 years, if he gets rehabilitated, then he's okay, So it's totally unacceptable that he's given such a lenient sanction in our view.
In your view, as Denosa, Bongani, are you going to appeal? If so, what avenues are you going to explore?
Well, we will be seeking a legal opinion from our legal department to say what can be done, and we definitely would be seeking an audience with the public prosecutions department in the province to say that we are not happy with the sanction. And like I cited the Oscar Pistorius case, we know that the public prosecutor, the Department of Public Director of Public Prosecutions in that particular case, and the prosecutor appealed the sanction, the sentence that was given to Oscar Pistorius. So even in this case, we do believe that that can be done, and it should not just be the end of it here. There should be something that the state can still do, because this case is still very much within the state's hands, and they can still be able to get justice for Lebo Mnene. This kind of sentence is not justice at all for the victim and for the family.
Let's talk about the family a little bit, Bongani. What has been the mood upon hearing this news today?
We have not yet been in contact with them, but I can assume after all the times that we've contacted them, we can only assume that where they are deeply despondent and disappointed. And you can also think about it, especially with the request that they even made to the court that let him stand up so that they can prove that he's unable to stand. So for them to hear that he has been given a sentence of having to be at home, in essence, it's house arrest. He's going to be staying with his family. His parents will be able to see him and interact with him on a daily basis. So to them, I do not think that there's a sense of justice in this case. They must be feeling like they've been let down by the justice system.
Bongani, we are absolutely going to pay attention to this story, and we will touch base with you again as things develop. That's Bongani Mazibuko, who is Denosa's Gauteng secretary, joining us live via Zoom here on Today on this Friday. Let's move on to